Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is Brandon.
This is Ryan.
And this is Chad.
Welcome, everybody, back to ComixKings, or welcome if this is your first time. This is episode 14 of Hall of Fame or Hall of Shame. This is the show where we take two issues, put them under a similar category, and we read them both, figure out which one's in the Hall of Fame, which one's in the Hall of Shame. We let you guys know what happened in the issue, everything that you need to know. Throw in some jokes, throw in some laughs. You guys know how we do. And if you guys are in the live chat, let us know you're here. Say what's up. And you will be on the show forever. We got Travis in here, Station, my friend. Boom. And he says you need to get Walt Simonson's run on Fantastic Four, which I have read. It was in the 80s with Arthur Adams. It is the first story of the TVA. I'm tracking it down myself. Happy hunting, my friend. It's a good read. Definitely not the best Walter Simonson work. I would say there are better Fantastic Four books that you could go about, but it's decent. You know, you got a different team in there halfway through the book, so you got that to look forward to. No spoilers. Then we got chat jumped a little bit. We got Manny, the guy who made that little intro. That's just a draft. We're working on the final copy of that, but I just want to throw something up today. What's going on, buddy? Station to you. Wow, 14 episodes, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Ryan, how you doing today, brother?
I'm solid. I got home from work today, and I, got ready for the show. Afterwards, I'm going to be kicking it off with this puppy, just a late night read. And yeah, been really enjoying comics and really happy to be on 14 episodes in.
Well, there you go. There are worse ways to spend your evening. I mean, the Happy Daredevil is a happy night. So, and that run is Happy Daredevil. How are you doing today, Chad?
Happy Daredevil.
Doing fantastic. Happy. It's Matt Murdock Monday, as they say over on all the meme pages I follow on Instagram. But you cannot go wrong showing up with a nice Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame on a Monday night.
There we go. And as everyone knows, the Loki show, which I haven't even watched yet, because I don't understand. Okay, so I spent the past 2 days at Third Eye Comics, basically. I've literally spent the last 2 weeks at the LCS, or past 2 days, so I haven't even gotten a chance to watch Loki yet. But we are still going to be talking about some Loki back issues that you may have seen spiking up a little bit if you guys are collecting, or you've kind of seen these covers floating about your Instagram pages. We're going to be talking about Vote Loki #1. This is by Christopher Hastings, art by Langdon Foss. This is the issue where Loki runs for president, and it's very basically that's how it happens in a nutshell. And then what's going on, Sheena? How are you doing today? My best friend in the universe. And then we're going to be matching that up against the first appearance of the Time People. I forget their real name, but they're the Time People. The Timekeepers. There you go. The Timekeepers in not New Avengers, in West Coast Avengers. West Coast Avengers number 62, which is by Roy Thomas, and the art is by Paul Ryan, which is. We're going to get into it, but we're going to get into everything that's going on. Simonson's run on something is making Ryan read the X-Men was epic. Oh my gosh. I know. Ryan is going to be reading the X-Men very soon, you guys.
You'll never make me.
You'll never. Come on. You will.
You will.
I'm about to read Garth Ennis's Punisher run. I'm in the midst of Wade's Daredevil. You're never gonna get me to read X-Men. All right, I have better things to do, quite frankly.
That is not true.
Don't expose me on live television, Chad.
There's nothing better to do than
read it, Ryan. Guys, there is a running hashtag on this channel. Hashtag make Ryan read X-Men, and is so. Don't Ryan read your X-Men.
Oh God.
But if you guys do want a fun show to watch, the other night, me and a couple buddies of mine, we drafted our X-Men teams. At the end, we the chat voted to see who had the best one, but that was a lot of fun. And we're gonna be drafting Avengers hopefully this weekend, so that's gonna be a lot of fun as well. It was just a fun thing we put together very last minute. What is going on? We got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Thank you all for being here. Showing some love to the channel. A little bit of house cleaning real quick. I think I'm off the next 2 nights on YouTube. I might be putting out a pre-recorded show that I've had it filmed for 3 weeks, so I think it's finally time I get my lazy ass to the editing booth. But and then on Thursday will be Tag Team Thursday. So again, I'm going to continue my spotlight on LGBTQ. We are going to be talking about the next generation. So you got that to look forward to. And then Friday, weekly wrap up as always with Bryce, which we will be doing a giveaway, which I do want to talk about. We will be giving away 3 copies of Wonder Woman number 770, signed by Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. We are teaming up to do a giveaway for those. There will be details after this show that I will be posting up on Instagram for everyone to enter. Either they'll be put up tomorrow morning or tonight, depending on how tired I am. But you got that to look forward to. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing Alex Sinclair, who I don't need to tell you guys who that is because you guys already know. He is probably one of the more consistent colorists in the game, probably the most well-known right now. So he has done almost every project in DC, with Blackest Night, with Hush, almost everything that Jim Lee has done, everything Ivan Reis has done. Frequent collaborator of Scott Williams, Jim Lee, Ivan Reis. So there's really no go. And John Romita Jr., who will also be on the show, which is confirmed. John Romita Jr. will be coming to ComixKings.
Which is awesome.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of big news. And we also got another guest who will be on the show, who I met over the weekend and had a great chance of getting to know, was James Tynion. So James Tynion will be on the show. And John Beatty will be on July 1st. So the next probably month and a half of Creators Corner is fully booked with guests. So I'm super excited to be able to talk about that now because I've been holding it in for about 2 weeks now. And I'm just like, I don't want to tell someone. So I can finally, I'm confident enough to be able to tell you guys on a public platform. So boom, we got that to look forward to. And I'm really excited to be giving that. John Romita Jr. Yeah. He's only much better. He's only everything Kevin Smith failed at as a movie producer. But
he wrote a good Green Arrow.
Yeah, he wrote a good Green Arrow, but he didn't write a Daredevil. You're a Daredevil fan.
Decent enough.
All right.
Chad has dipped. Chad has dipped,
but I'm sure that the Chadster will be back, but we will be diving into the issues. And if you guys want to ask us a question, let us know anything. Drop it down in the comments below. You will be on the show forever. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. I sound like a broken record, but also make sure you subscribe to Ryan and Chad, who are dropping videos, probably 2-3 videos a week, which are all pre-recorded, all great. And they are great.
Thank you.
You have to tell JR that I don't like Kevin Smith. I don't hate Kevin Smith. He's just not my favorite writer. But I'm sure he would agree. Oh, look who joined us back again on ComixKings. Welcome back. We got Slime Comics and more. What is going on, you guys? What's going on? Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, let's get into Vote Loki number 1. So, the premise is very much at the end of the Avengers movie, right? Where
it picks up where Avengers left off.
Right, so don't think anything about comics continuity right now. There are little bits and pieces in that era of comics with we see some characters popping in and out, but this is very much a movie reference saying this is what happened. And we have the governor who's trying to rebuild a city with Tony Stark, and he ends up taking the money, using it for a re-election later on when this young girl is now working for the Daily Bugle. So
so basically this young girl in the whose house was wrecked, and her parents are like, we don't have enough money to live anywhere else, and where's she gonna go to school? She comes back and she exposes the mayor for taking Tony Stark's funds to rebuild the city and kind of line his own pockets for his re-election campaign. And then we're thrown into the midst of a presidential campaign.
Hey, what's up, Nigel? Nigel actually won the X-Men show the other day, so big shout out to Nigel. Definitely go catch that replay. Nigel built a pretty good team. You want to know what was the winning team? Go watch the show. But anyway, sorry about that, Ryan.
No, you're all good. So if you guys couldn't tell from the title, this is a very political book. Not in the sense of it's making it is making a statement. How good is it in portraying its message? Spoiler alert, not good at all. It's horrible.
This was if I had to pick 10 books not to read that I would never ever recommend to someone, this would be one of them. This book is selling on eBay right now for a good chunk of money. $40 for a book that was never good to begin with is something that I personally wouldn't invest in. Yeah, it has a cover that might be in the Loki show, but it has 32 pages of nonsense. But
it was a
so-
grind. It was a grind to get through.
yeah, I'm just reading
and, like,
it.
it wasn't just the story; it was also the art.
It was so bad.
I felt like the art was rushed. Like they didn't have time to go back. In the second panel, when they're showing all of the Avengers, like the first panel, I was reading. I was like, okay, I kind of dig this. Then I realized that the artist cannot do faces, and
Yeah, no,
he could not do Captain America's face because in the second panel, it's like this kind of distant shot of the whole Avengers, and Captain America, Brian, yeah, right, he looks like Ryan.
He looks like a little plush toy. I don't know if y'all can see it, but he looks like a little plush toy.
The holes and the buck teeth, it was atrocious. There were some panels that I was really art, but anytime there was a close up or anything like that, I was like, this art needs to go.
Yeah.
Right. I was just like, oh my gosh, you walk into a I can't say Toys R Us anymore. You walk into like a GameStop or like any place that has like what are those? Beanie Babies are not a thing anymore. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. Shit. What Target, they sell stuffed animals, right?
Yes, they do.
I don't know. One of y'all parents, let me know. But shit, it's like you see that right on the shelf, but it was bad, you know. We're at this press conference with the governor being reelected, going against a running mate or going against another person. So you got the incumbent going against some other Joe Schmo, and you got like these. I don't know if y'all ever seen Corduroy, but or any like animation show where like the teeth are like straight up look like zippers. Like they have the zipper teeth. That's what I call them. But that's what it looked like. You know,
it's not only that, but consistently throughout this book, it goes for like the Assad Ribic kind of like the face of the person is not really like over romanticized. Like not everyone's in like a heroic pose. Like sometimes people are like you know, like mid talking. So it kind of goes for that sort of like real life kind of like, hey, I'm quirky thing.
Right.
And so their mouths are open a lot. And the artist draws their teeth like they're Stay Puffed marshmallows. They're massive.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone looks like they have dentures. It's horrific. And Loki's eyes are so far apart and his nose is so rigid. It creeps me out, quite frankly. But yeah, basically, there's, you know, it's how are you going to set up conflict in the Marvel universe when you don't really know how to write? Hydra.
Yeah, so Hydra, boom. You don't have anything else to do? Put Hydra in there. So Hydra invades the press conference, and none other than Loki comes in to save the day. And Loki's entrance literally looks like I don't understand his entrance. I don't understand the position of his entrance. I don't get it.
Did he instantly float above the crowd?
Like, this is how he appeared, and this just should not happen.
I went back and reread his entrance 3 times because I was like, why did they choose this? Because the reporter Nista, who was the girl who Cass got destroyed from the Loki battle, and who became a reporter, she's at this press conference. And so she's talking to this other new reporter. And at first I thought that was going to be Loki, but that's not Loki because Loki is some guy in a green shirt, but she was talking to some guy in a blue shirt. So I was like, okay, why did they have her talking to this guy? Oh, are you new here? Yeah, I'm new to these press conferences. Why didn't they have that guy be Loki?
Yeah. Also, we got one of the 3 little piggies right there in the background. I noticed, but I don't know. I didn't get it. But anyway, we're rolling with it.
He's dousing them with the power of McDonald's. You see the golden arches everywhere. Still, I've watched every Marvel MCU movie. I've read quite a bit of Thor. I still don't know what Loki's powers are. They've just never really been well defined, which is kind of the reason I don't like. Sometimes he's like the dagger guy, and then sometimes he's like the mischief teleporting guy. It's like, well, like, can you do everything? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like.
It depends on who you ask. If you ask Doctor Strange, you're like, no, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. If you ask Loki, he's like, well, I was the Sorcerer Supreme, and I can be.
Yes,
I don't know.
Kind of this wizard, kind of this sorcerer, kind of this like
Loki is whatever the hell he wants to be.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
exactly
my
it.
problem with
It's
the
whoever the
character.
writer. It's whoever the writer wants Loki to be. You know, because Loki, part of being mischievous and sly is obviously the ability to adapt and change. And
Yeah, but that's kind of my problem. Like Thor wouldn't be as memorable as he is if he switched from lightning powers to throwing cicadas at people. You know, like
That's my power. That's my power.
like
I hope you
he's
sleep
a
with a cicada
well-defined
tonight.
power set. He's strong. He has a hammer, and there's lightning.
Hey, Ryan, you know what a good source of protein is? Cicada.
Chad, tell him.
Let's not get into my personal eating habits on the channel. We're here to talk about Loki.
What the hell?
Anyway, yeah, I have to kind of agree with
No,
that.
no. What did you eat?
Don't worry about what. Don't worry about that. That's not a
No. We gotta talk about this, chat.
Cicada shells. I've been eating those. You know.
Chad's not alone. It's a New Jersey thing. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's the neighboring high school where I live has a cicada eating club right now due to the abundance of cicadas. So I'm
high
not.
School that both of us attended.
You must be destroying your rectum when you take a shit.
Dude, they're just shells. It's not a bug.
They're just little. Anyway, I have to agree with Ryan's take about Loki's powers because when you don't give them a defined power set, it really takes the stakes away. Because in this book, he can apparently shapeshift. He turns into a woman at one point.
Yeah.
At will, he can manifest. He manifested these snakes to take out Hydra. That wouldn't have been so bad, but he said something really stupid. He said it takes a bad guy with a snake to a good guy with a snake to beat a bunch of bad guys with a snake. And I was like, that is the stupidest thing.
It's a gun reference. There's so many platitudes of like later in the book we get to like they're like, it's dangerous if you treat Loki as a joke when he's running for president. It's like, all right, yeah, that doesn't sound
Yeah,
familiar.
but here's the thing that I didn't like. This thing that happened in the book is Loki never wanted to run for president. He was saying, I could run for president, be better than these guys because I can lie better. And you guys will still like me for it.
But,
you know?
But here's the thing. Like, my biggest problem with this book is it has absolutely no reason for existing. In the sense of Loki is a god. And I'm not talking about like in the way that people think Superman is a god. Loki is legitimately a god. What interest does he have in running the United States? I'm sure in some way Loki could have more influence over the United States through his god powers,
right?
Than as an elected official that has to deal with the legislative and judicial branch.
Now, here's my other question. Where the hell are these damn Avengers who were there the whole time? Right? Shouldn't they have kind of caught wind when they saw him all over the Fox local news or CNN or the Daily Bugle? I mean, but he was invited on James Jonah Jameson's news segment. That's everything saying, hey, Spider-Man, look who works for the Daily Bugle in a nutshell.
Look, the author, I don't remember his name.
Christopher Hastings has never been a consistent writer, Marvel. Never.
Well, first of all, my biggest problem with the book is conceptual. Basically, my biggest problem with the book is that it exists, but because it exists, we get bad dialogue at nauseum for 23 pages. Like, it's horrendous. And I'm not talking like Tom King Batman horrendous. I'm talking like
that was not horrendous, but anyway.
I'll break your Bane. I've come for the Psycho Pirate. I'll break your damn back. Fucking Jesus, dude. He says it for a whole issue. But that's neither here nor there.
My biggest problem with this book is that it is probably the least nuanced look at politics there is. I mean, basically the first third of the book is everybody saying how much they're just like done with regular politicians, and everybody like they say it over and over again. It's like, oh, all these guys suck, all these guys suck, all these guys suck, and they had like 3 different characters say that, and it was just too much. And it's like, okay, like
we get it.
We get it.
Move on.
Loki, at one point, Loki says the exact same line twice. I believe it's when he lets the reporter in, or something. Like I remember early in the issue, he says like a paragraph about something, and then later in the issue, he says the exact same, like, and I'm not talking about like a repetitive line for reinforcement purposes. It's like a paragraph within there,
Right.
which really caught me. Like I was like, is this a misprint or something? And look, we can't beat around the bush any longer. Loki, this book exists because Loki is serving as an allegory for Donald Trump. It's so egregiously apparent. Like,
when was this book made? Hold on.
It was
When
in
was it?
2016. I mean, I think it
2016.
was, but like at the same time, like if it was, you can definitely tell that they rushed it into print because there's a lot, like the art, for instance, it seemed like they were just rushing to get this on the shelves to make it, to put it out while like this topic's still relevant. But like when I first saw it was like its release date of 2016, I was like, okay, like they're making some allusions to Donald Trump here, but like, how could they have done that? Like
with Loki.
Yeah, and it's
that's
it's
the
stupid.
point. That's the point.
It's stupid.
The god of mischief, takes over for liars and whatever, and it's basically this outsider coming into politics saying, "I'll try my hand at politics," and it's basically a super villain. Like let's not take the piss here. It's a super villain who's trying to go manipulate his way into the American presidency.
No, but he wasn't even manipulating his way. He was getting peer pressured into running.
Well, it's alluded to that he secretly wanted to do it the whole time, but basically we see like these like boomer memes, like when your side chick once you break up with your main chick, it's like, and then it's like these like boomer bottom text memes, and then they're talking about like, if we treat Loki as a joke, it actually could get serious because he could win. I'm like, never heard that before. It's like
there was, when Donald Trump was running in 2016, there was a literal article I read that said like, okay guys, stop giving Donald Trump all this attention or else he's gonna win the presidency.
Well, he won anyway.
Yeah, but it was very not nuanced at all. And
but it is.
And Hawkeye, I mean, Hawkeye, Loki he would not want the presidency, and it's hard to get a grasp on his motivations in this book because
there is nothing. There's nothing.
He has no motivations,
and I couldn't even like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in this book, so to address this comment in the book, he said, like, I'm better than you guys. Like in a nutshell, he's like, yeah, I could if I read, like I have no interest because I know that I'm already better. I was like 3 pages in.
And also look at it from this perspective. Even if I was the god of friendship bracelets, right? And I rule Midgard, Earth, whatever. Even if I was the god of friendship bracelets, I would have more intrinsic control of the universe than the American presidency. Like, you think of Loki, the god of mischief. You think he's gonna fucking deal with the legislative branch, the judicial branch? No, it's completely irrational. And I sound like Ben Shapiro up here, like saying Loki would never be interested in the American presidency.
I have a cousin named Ben Shapiro.
What?
I have a cousin named Ben Shapiro.
Really? No,
yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not, look, we read comic books about people who put on tights and fight crime, all right? Realism is out of the question.
Oh my gosh.
But
what was even funnier was when he needs a head of security, and it's Angela.
Yeah. But it was just, like, we have to take realism in the context of the universe. Loki is a god in the pantheon of gods of Asgard. The presidency is not interesting him. Like, no. And it never will. And also, I like seeing Jane Foster. Clearly, I'm a big Jane Foster fan.
She came in. Okay, yeah, so spoilers for the issue. She came in at the end just saying, "How did you do?" And
I don't want to
that
read
was that.
more because I know he's just gonna butcher
not
the
reading.
character
Not
that I
reading.
enjoy so
The,
much.
Yeah, I mean, and also one of the main cruxes of the issue, one of the big conflicts was that they took Nisa ended up writing an article saying, okay, like don't pay attention to Loki, don't give him attention, or else this is going to get out of hand. And they took that out of context and gave the title something like Loki's campaign is exciting, and that got out there, and that started. Loki was actually able to get some traction because Nisa, who was supposed to have hated Loki, finally seemed to give him some sort of endorsement. However, in reality, she was saying, don't pay attention to this guy, but they twisted her words. But the article still remains what the article was intended to do, which is try to scare people away.
And Nisa's the reporter for the Daily Bugle.
Yes,
and
go ahead.
And so even after the article gets posted, somebody comments like, "Did you guys even like?" It showed this like a social media site. Somebody posted something like, "Did you guys even read the article?" Like she didn't even say that, and I'm like, I was like, okay, like that entire. I feel like that's just too gaping of a plot hole to ignore.
But you know what's worse? You know what's worse about this book is the end that Ryan's just throwing up. This page, Captain America in Uriah's is better. Captain America in his Secret Empire costume.
No, yeah, actually, I think this is rather funny.
But it's like saying it's bad for America. No, Captain America
he's
being a Hydra
in this. He's the bad guy. What's so funny is Loki is an allegory for Donald.
Oh my god!
So if you've seen, the Captain America cover, right, of his first appearance, it's him punching a Nazi. Okay, and it has him punching Loki in this case. Basically, equating Loki to a Nazi, and Loki is an allegory for Donald Trump. So saying, okay, he's a Nazi, the usual crap. But what's so ironic about this is Cap's in his Secret Empire outfit.
Whoever drew that should have been fired, man.
He is literally a Nazi. So it's so funny because now we have the cover of a Nazi punching a legitimate presidential candidate. So if that didn't backfire on him, I mean, I don't know what did, but you have to be some sort of idiot to not realize that. It's kind of funny.
They couldn't even get that small detail right.
Yeah, but the fact that who was editing that shit?
He's literally a Nazi. Not even whatever. Captain America is literally a Nazi due to the suit, and he's punching an allegory for Donald Trump. So if that didn't backfire in his face, you know what?
It's like a Nazi is worse. I'm like,
yeah. The dialogue is so
a Nazi is better. No, get it together. Get it. No, stop.
It's so funny because this is just such a bad way to introduce your political beliefs into comic books, and so egregious in its execution that it's kind of funny that this is how it ends.
It's not even the point to where it could be triggering to somebody who supports that viewpoint, but more or less it's laughable of the lack of care and the lack of thought.
There's not even and it's not even he's saying anything. Chip Zdarsky, not to bring it to Daredevil, but
you always bring it to Daredevil, bro.
But it is, this current run is my favorite comic run of all time. But in his, Matt Murdock, spoiler alert, is in prison. So Chip uses that to show systematic flaws in the prison system through Matt's experience in the prison system. That's a really good way to highlight problems in our society, because our main character, our titular character, is in this situation and would naturally have to deal with these problems that Chip can highlight. This is taking a god of mischief and a supervillain and equating him to a current, in the context of when it was published, a current presidential candidate, okay, and just egregiously throwing up Donald Trump bad, basically throughout the entire book, and and it's so egregiously bad. And look,
Yeah,
like
the dialogue
a
sucks.
5-year-olds could have written better dialogue, and I'm like, and that's not even exaggeration, which is real. It's just sad. And even I shit on the idea that Loki running for president is a horrible idea for a comic book. If it's executed well, that could be really cool. Like, if later in the run we find out there was like this secret kind of thing going on, and he actually we grow to like Loki throughout the series, but then at the end he slips back into his villainous ways, and this entire time he was plotting a villainous thing, that could be a really cool twist on the audience. But it's not written well. So it's so much lost potential. There's not even really much potential, but there could be potential if it's in the hands of a good writer.
If you guys want like a more nuanced take on a supervillain going into politics, I mean, check out Charles Soule's and Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil runs, because Wilson Fisk becomes the mayor of New York, and I mean that in and of itself could be seen as an allegory for Donald Trump. I mean, they both have towers in Manhattan named after themselves. They're both Manhattan businessmen. And they both go into politics. However, with Wilson Fisk, it makes sense for Wilson Fisk to want that kind of political power, and it's executed really, really well. So, like, whereas this was just like not executed well, irrational for the character development, and it didn't even show the characters in like a good way. Check out those Daredevil runs. Honestly, I kept on thinking about Kanye West for president every time. Kanye.
Well, that's how Kanye would probably do it. Kanye would probably do that and just like stop a gang and just be like, "Yo, bitches."
Everyone was wondering what I'd do if I lose. Guess we'll never know. And then he walks up.
I guess we'll never know. But let's actually move on to West Coast Avengers number 62.
Let's get on to the good book now.
Oh my god, that book! Oh, that Loki book is awful. I know anyone that buys that book for the price it's going for right now. Oh my god, it's bad.
Ironically, Loki doesn't appear in this book, and it's just infinitely better. Like, it's
so much better, but it's still a Loki show.
Yes, it relates to the show, which is why we are doing it on this Loki theme. Loki is in the show themed episode. Look, John Walker's in the team. Maybe it's biased, but I love seeing John Walker show up.
Yeah, so it's written by Roy and Dan. Roy and Dan Thomas, art by Paul Ryan, who is fantastic as an artist. And this is the team is Hawkeye, Wonder Man, Iron Man, John Walker, Janet, who's the Wasp, and
Hank Pym.
Okay,
so just regular Hank Pym. Pym. He's not Ant-Man. He's not whatever. He's just a blonde guy in a suit with a laser gun, basically.
Yeah, who doesn't love that?
Okay,
if Tony Stark went blonde, that's exactly what he would do.
Yeah, no,
Ryan, exactly. I'm sure that will be you when you're in your 50s, Ryan.
Oh, of course. So I'm gonna keep it a full stack with you. This issue it doesn't really make a lot of sense. All right,
but it works.
But it works really well. From what I could gather, the villain Immortus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Immortus basically
is like
he spends like 8 pages describing what he did to Scarlet Witch. I still didn't really understand it.
Okay, he basically took Scarlet Witch under his control. He's basically like hypnotized her, and she's like in a time loop where she basically kisses his ass, sucks his dick, and does everything for him.
But let's clarify. Not literally. She's just kind of a motionless potato. Loki for making Loki would not want me to. He wouldn't want me.
No. Loki would make you read a Daredevil book, but as you're reading it, it would fade away into an X-Men book. She'd be reading an X-Men book the whole time.
I would go Frank Castle on Loki if that happened. But basically, Immortus's plan is he's a villain. Don't get me wrong. But he's kind of one of those villains that's just trying to do something. like he doesn't do it for the sake of evil, but what he's doing happens to be evil, if that makes sense.
It was so there's so Immortus also has this guy named Tempest who basically works for him, and Tempest went off the loose cannon, and Scarlet
He's just
Witch,
a big rock monster, basically. He looks like the Living Tribunal.
Yeah, but their powers are involved in the timeline, to them like being active in here, combined with what's about to happen, is throwing off the timeline, which is why the Timekeepers end up like making their first appearance in here. So what's going on is Agatha, from like a mile away, she's like senses something about Wanda, so she goes into the realm of Tempest, and she's with Lockjaw, and I love that. She's with Lockjaw. I'm just like, I love Lockjaw because he was drawn so well, and who doesn't love Lockjaw? There's nobody hates Lockjaw. You don't hate Lockjaw. Lockjaw is the number one homie in the Marvel Universe. If I could have one companion in the Marvel Universe, I'm taking Lockjaw. Hands down.
I'm taking Daredevil, but all you, pal.
I'm taking no, fuck you. I'm taking Lockjaw. He's a dog. I'm taking a dog.
Lockjaw is pretty sick. He's a big dog.
He's a big boy.
Big dog.
He's a dog who can transport me anywhere I want.
But I honestly think running through this
sounds
issue
a lot like Appa to me. If y'all ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, this guy's like an instant Appa.
Yeah. But basically, I don't think running through this issue would be really that conducive. Essentially, what happens is Immortus has Wanda under his spell because of her powers and her ability to F with timelines and multiverse, whatever.
She's like a central point in the timeline. So like she's like, I basically, if time goes like this, and there's a bunch of different waves of time, she is at the crux of the intersection of all these timelines. So she's like central to all the multiverse.
Yeah, so he's essentially keeping her so he can become the master of all time, of some sort, from what I gathered from it. Like not like the overlord of every living being within time, but just kind of like the record keeper of the universe, essentially. West Coast Avengers try to stop him, and then Tribunal is like this basically big rock guy with a mallet, but he can also drain people of their life like he does to Wonder Man. Then essentially they get their asses kicked. Agatha Harkness breaks Wanda out of her spell. And then the Timekeepers, who is why we read the issue, show up, and they basically paralyze Immortus. And they're like, you're the new guy who just like keeps he becomes the new focal point.
Yeah. So
he no longer has free will.
Instead of having Scarlet Witch in that Time Master on the instead of having Scarlet Witch as that role of like
now I want to read the Lockjaw book by Kevin Smith, drawn by that would just trigger all of us on this panel except for Chad.
I'm in so much pain.
Basically, Scarlet Witch and Immortus kind of switch places at the end. So now he's paralyzed and loses free will. I mean, this issue features a lot of really cool like insights. It shows like at one point, he shows all the West Coast Avengers like their tragic origins, and you see like the things that kind of made them heroes. And then when that breaks, also that those could have created, like Tony Stark dying instead of surviving his injuries from the
John Walker's parents
surviving. So I thought that the way that worked was really well done and really cool.
Two little things. Hank Pym at one point shouts an order, and John Walker says, "Who died made you leader?" At one point. Personal standout for me. Love John Walker. Also, you can see right here, Hawkeye says, "Sheesh."
What is wrong with you? What's up, Bobby? I don't know what you walked into. I don't know what you walked into, Bobby. But anyway,
Hawkeye saying,
I liked how the Timekeepers were introduced. I liked how it was organic, and it was very much like this is their purpose. And Agatha was basically playing attorney in this whole thing. which was great. You know, the art was fantastic, and I expected to hate both stories. I really expected to go, and I'm like, wait, I chose these 2 books. Fuck. But hey, this book was actually, it was fun. You know what? I'm gonna say this. It was fun. It was like you just gotta roll with it. You just gotta say it is roll with it. It is not gonna make any sense, but you can honestly just read it and just have fun.
I don't know, like I have not read any of the other West Coast Avengers books.
No.
This is the last book in a story arc. So we came in completely blind, and we still love the story. I think I might go back and start reading West Coast Avengers from the start because of how cool this book was.
Wait, no, we read 43 for the show with the White Vision. I think we did that for an episode of Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame.
That might have been before Chad. That might have been pre-Chad.
Pre-Chad, okay.
20 issues previous to this one, though. So, like, we basically, without any context, we're still able to enjoy this book. So I really want to go back and reread the West Coast Avengers because the chemistry between the team. I mean, Quicksilver. I've read very few books with Quicksilver in them, and I really liked him in here. Hawkeye is great in this book. He's finally like I see why he's the goofball. I wish the MCU made him the goofball of the Avengers.
Right.
John Walker was fantastic. I
didn't hate John Walker. I didn't hate him.
He orders the Time Masters to basically he said stop right there under command of the U.S. government, and they're like you have no power here.
It's just goofy. It's a goofy book that shouldn't work, but it does, and I love it.
I love the moment when I love John Walker, but like when
Shut up, Ryan
chucks the shield at the Time Masters, and Hawkeye's like, I gotta stop him, and they like slow it down. It looks like it's not moving, but they slow it down so slow. They're like, the arrow won't reach us until Earth's in its next ice age. And then they're like, and the shield won't even reach us by then. So like, it basically like puts the West Coast Avengers in their place. They're like, pardon this weird thing, but like after Immortus basically hands the Avengers, their ass basically till Agatha Harkness comes in, and then he is immobilized by the Timekeepers. It's like Daddy's. You know what I mean? Like it's
no Pietro.
They're in a league above, and West Coast of this, like, I expected actually to feel the opposite. I had seen the Vote Loki, I'd never read it, and I was like, all right, I heard this book was pretty solid. Like, I didn't hear it was solid, but like,
it can be cool. I'm like, it could be. Get it a certain way.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, like this, might be pretty cool. And then I read it and I was like, okay, this is like genuinely horrible. And this made me feel pleasantly surprised, honestly.
Right. I think it was because we read Loki first and then went to West Coast Avengers. Yeah, and I was like, I'm like, maybe. But I think all right, guys, let's do the formal vote. Chad, what are you doing? Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame. What's your Hall of Fame? What's your Hall of Shame?
Hall of Fame has to be West Coast Avengers 62. I mean, it was fun. It was smart. The moment that really clinched it for me was Immortus is like, he's got all the Avengers immobilized. He's like, you know what? He's like, I don't really know. I don't want to be a villain. Like, I don't want to drag out their deaths or anything like that. I'm not that evil. Just kill them. And like, just the way that was like executed, so that really clinched it for me, as I was like, I am really digging this book. So Hall of Fame, absolutely West Coast Avengers. Hall of Shame, Loki #1, because it was incoherent, it was stupid, it was and honestly, the worst thing this book did was hiding Loki's motivations to not do anything for the book. If it had come right out and Loki was like, I want to become the president of the United States so I can nuke like Sweden or something, because I'm a North god.
Yeah, no, or like what they could have done with that book is he could have been like, I could nuke freaking Denmark because they didn't let me do this when I was here on Earth last time.
Yeah. Or like I'll let them worship.
No, you know what's so much better? If he would have nuked Ledberia, if he wanted to nuke Ledberia.
They're like,
that would have been better. That would have been so much better.
They always worship my brother Thor. Why? I'll make them worship me diplomatically or something. Like they'll rely on my my trade to survive. It's just like it was such BS.
Or he could have like done a Chancellor Palpatine, be like, "Oh, now I'm scarred within the new Galactic Empire." Could have done that.
Loki does not need to be the president to do anything that he would do. He could
just
still
do it.
launch nukes. He could still disrupt international trade, all without having to actually go to a day job. So
what's stopping Loki from making it rain wherever he wants, and then those rings off turn into nukes? You know, like, come on, man.
I'm sorry, but if Loki wanted to rain strippers on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, I'm sure he would do it in a heartbeat. He could
There'd
do
just be a lot of dead bodies that have hit the floor really hard.
Hey, but they would look pretty good. Hey, but they would look nice and fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he can do that. He's got my vote.
He would have my vote.
Brandon sees dead strippers laid in the streets. He's like, all right, this is sad, but like, sheesh, homie. Like,
Ryan, you've obviously never seen a dead stripper.
Ryan, what are you doing Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame?
So my not seeing a dead stripper thoughts are saying, look, ironically, in our big Loki episode, the book I'm choosing, Loki did not appear. The chemistry of the team did it for me. I want to see this team back. It's basically the Avengers, honestly, but
it was fucks are given.
Like it was like, yeah, basically it's like the no fucks given Avengers. John Walker's in there, and without Cap, Tony Stark is just a freaking boy. And without Cap, Tony Stark actually was one of the more adult ones, which was kind of weird. But yeah, the fact that I could read the last issue in a story arc, a third into the entire run and be like, all right, this book slaps, is such a testament to it. And West Coast Avengers in Hall of Fame.
We are all in agreement. It's a unanimous vote. The team in New Avengers, not New Avengers. I keep doing that. West Coast Avengers was great. You had a lot of good moments in there. It is like you can follow the book without actually understanding who Tempest is. Whoever the other guy is, Tempest and
Immortus, the time
and Immortus. You don't have to understand anything, which is really great about the book. You can just jump right in. Loki was just garbage.
Yeah,
Loki was stupid. Yeah. It was garbage. And it was. It's a waste of time, and it's a waste of time. If you are buying the book simply because the cover is going to appear in the show, I'm telling you, no, don't do it.
I mean, if you have the book, definitely take advantage of those high prices and sell that, because I guarantee once those prices go back, once the show kind of takes its course and it's no longer new and exciting, those prices are going to go back down. So sell it while you got it, guys.
Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, guys, if you are catching the replay and you made it through this whole show, I guess you liked what you saw, so hit the thumbs up. If you are catching the replay as well, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. If you read any of these books, let us know your thoughts, or if you are going to read it. But Nightcrawler is coming, guys. You know what? Nightcrawler would be a great addition to the show. You can just bamf his way next to Chad.
He probably wouldn't love me, to be quite honest with you.
No, he would hate you.
Dude, I love Nightcrawler, dude.
I love Nightcrawler.
No, I also love Nightcrawler. I just,
right.
X-Men sucks. So.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? But anyway, you guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all sub up to Ryan and Chad. Definitely Loki for Hall of Shame. Exactly, you guys.
Hell yeah.
Everything about the book just didn't add up. It was god awful. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've read a book that was that awful in a very long time. Like, no, it was a hate read. It was a hate read. But yeah, sub up to Ryan and Chad. They're dropping a lot of great content. They have Wednesday Warriors, which is obviously taking place on Wednesday. They just dropped a Thor the God Butcher review, which was very great. If you guys you are not Slipknot, Ryan. Stop that. But
also check out Swamp Thing review.
If you want to see me go in the woods and ramble, barely audible over the sound of cicadas, check out Swamp Thing.
Boom.
And if you want to see me talk about Thor, because I'm really into Thor. I mean, I look like Thor. I mean, look at me.
Definitely sub these guys up. I believe you guys have passed your 250 mark and are nearing.
Yeah, we just
300.
passed 250. And we celebrated with some guy calling me too skinny in the comments.
Yeah, there is a body shame comment, which
body shame towards me for being too skinny.
Right, flex on it one more time.
Come on, yeah, this is too skinny.
I mean, maybe the guy has a point.
Bro, I'm ripped. Come on. I'd rather be too skinny than too fat, though. Not that it's a problem either. I mean, for your health, it probably is.
All right, you guys.
Anyway,
all right. Beach bodies are not okay. No one on the show has a beach body. Jesus Christ! Vote Loki, and you'll get yourself a beach body.
I got a beach body. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
All right, you guys. This is the show every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch us live.
Matt Murdock Monday, baby.
Matt Murdock Monday next week. I want to do. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna do next week, and we'll let you guys know.
We should. Dude.
What you do?
I don't know. Well, I'll run it by you, but what if we bring in personal favorites? But you can do so there's 3 of us, and we bring in personal favorites. It's okay. It looks fine, Chad. But there's 3 of us, right? So we each bring in a personal favorite issue. If like our favorite issue of comics of all time,
right?
And then, so like I bring in an issue, and Chad brings in an issue, and Brandon reads them both, and he has to put either mine in Hall of Fame and Chad's in Hall of Shame, or Chad's in Hall of Fame and mine in Hall of Shame. So, like a little thing where little 3-way action.
That did not sound right.
I swear I did not mean it in that connotation, but you know what I mean. I think that could be pretty cool.
That sounded weird.
But if you guys are cool with that, I think that could be really cool.
Yeah. We'll talk it over.
We'll talk it over, obviously.
Venom 200 is dropping this week. Maybe we could relive some Venom keys next week.
I am so freaking down for that, Brandon. You have absolutely no idea. Check out Venom on the Ryan and Chad channel, because we uploaded a review on that, and right. I adore Donny Cates. Seriously, I adore that man. He's so handsome.
Ryan. Ryan. Maybe you can have a 3-way with Donny Cates. Maybe you can have that 3-way action.
If he offered, I'd do it. And I ain't even.
Goodbye, everyone. This is Brandon from ComixKings signing off. We're not letting this continue. Cut the cameras.